And a very good evening to you, to the only place that you get the stories that are untold. I'm talking about TV47. It is the home of untold stories. I am Shiksha Arora. Welcome to this live broadcast on the 9th day of April. Of course, if you've just joined us, do let us know where you're watching from. We would absolutely love to hear from you on all social media platforms. You can find us at TV47 Kenya. Look for us, talk to us. We will love to engage you later on as we continue with the stories. Remember, we've got all what it takes with regards to what's happening in the country, what's happening abroad, and of course, we'll be keeping you updated and informed on the latest. Remember, we will also be telling you what's happening in business, what's happening in sports. We also have Green Fix coming later on. But speaking about sports, well, guess what? Cape Media Limited is the official media partner for the 2026 FIFA series that's beginning on Saturday. So we are very excited for that. Once again, we are very proud to announce that Cape Media Limited is the official media partner for the 2026 FIFA series. So make sure you're tuned in for the action as it happens right here. We will be letting you know what the latest is, and of course, we'll be premiering some matches as well. So it's going to be an exciting time ahead of us. If you're a football fan, then this is the only place to do. We also have an exciting interview later on of this Boda Boda rider who decided to take matters in his own hands and make sure that he stops people from littering. What's all that about? Well, you'll have to wait and watch. For now, though, it's time for the highlights. Top on the Daily Report. 3 people have been arrested in connection with the attack on Senator Godfrey Osotsi, who says his assailants intended to kill him. President William Ruto has vowed to crack down on criminals in Nairobi during his first address to the Nairobi County Assembly. 4 people have been sentenced to death in connection with the murder of former Kabete MP George Mushai. Tonight's live broadcast starts right about now. My name is Shiksha Arora and our sign language interpreter is Catherine Simaloy. All right, the top story tonight, where pressure is mounting on security agencies following the attack on Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi, even as 3 suspects linked to the incident remain in custody. Now, leaders across the political divide are demanding swift investigations and accountability, warning against the rise of political violence in the country. Our reporter Mike Kagongo has more details.
The arrest of 3 suspects in Kisumu marks a major breakthrough in investigations into the violent attack on Senator Godfrey Osotsi at a city mall. Detectives say the suspects are in custody and will soon be arraigned, as efforts intensify to track down more individuals linked to the incident, saying that the 3 suspects all come from the Nyalenda and Manyata areas of Kisumu County. But even as investigations gather pace, the attack has sparked a storm of condemnation from leaders, many terming it a dangerous trend, threatening the country's democracy. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has strongly criticized what he describes as the normalization of political violence, calling on security agencies to act decisively.
The use of guns in this country to deal with politics. I have been attacked a record of 24 times, 5 of them in churches, by goons and police. And nothing has been done.
Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has issued a stern ultimatum demanding accountability from Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo, whom opposition leaders accuse of failing in his mandate.
We're even going now to institute private prosecution against this PS Raymond Omolo. You see, him together with the Minister for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, are very powerful individuals. Of course, and the order goes that way. This is office of the President. This is William Ruto's office.
And those who are trying to single out this event, I see some sponsorship across social media to try and portray it as a love affair. When these goons were paraded in Kisumu Airport, and the entire Kisumu Airport was full of goons.
Leaders from the Linda Mwananchi, including Edwin Sifune and James Orengo, have also faulted the police for delays in taking action, despite what they describe as clear evidence. Sifuna says the people of Kisumu have already identified the attackers and even their financier. The police have this information. Their inaction is completely unacceptable. Orengo said this is not politics but outright thuggery. There appears to be interference and demanding accountability from security agencies. Those responsible must be arrested. Meanwhile, ODM party leader Oburu Oginga said the attack is unacceptable in a democratic society. Violence must never be tolerated, calling for a swift, thorough and impartial investigation to bring all perpetrators to book. Yala MP Winnie Odinga termed the attack as a mark of cowardice when she visited Ososi in hospital. Fellow parliamentarians also weighed in, demanding seamless investigations towards the matter.
The Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, should issue a statement on the progress of investigations
All right, we apologize for that, but would like to move on with this live broadcast where President William Ruto has pledged to crack down on cartels in Nairobi County, saying that the era of benefiting at the expense of public interest is over. Now, the president, who spoke during a historic presidential address in the Nairobi County Assembly, said that the move has been informed by growing levels of frustrations among Kenyans on a capital city that is thriving on chaos and lawlessness. Apollo Kamau reports.
In a rare historic move since the advent of devolution and the first for a sitting president, President William Ruto made his way to the Nairobi County Assembly for his first presidential address. Inside, President Ruto declaring war on cartels, whom he blamed for holding the county hostage, benefiting from chronic dysfunction, chaos, and lawlessness, as Nairobi residents continue to suffer as the city's world-class status continues to worsen.
We must take the cartels in the city of Nairobi head on. Whoever they are, however powerful they may be, it is your responsibility, that of the county government, and you have the national government's support to deal with it.
President Ruto further defended the government's decision to demolish Gikomba Market under the Nairobi Rivers Regeneration Program.
We are going to transform Gikomba. In the next 6 months, you will see another Gikomba at this capacity. And that is just phase one. Then I have another, that phase one will cost us about 800 million. When a leader goes and mobilizes people in Gikomba and tells them, no, and I'm sorry, I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm just, and goes and tells people in Gikomba, don't move. Continue to do your business in filth, in the mud. And that leader, they buy nothing from Gikomba. They never go to Gikomba to shop anything.
President Ruto rallying Nairobi County Assembly behind his 80 billion shillings cooperation agreement with Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, saying it's time to take the bull by the horns, lest history judges him harshly.
That the problems of Nairobi have grown too large, too urgent, and too consequential to be handled through fragmentation, tough wars, bureaucratic hesitation, or business as usual governance.
The president, in the company of Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, later addressed Nairobi residents to marshal support for the cooperation agreement, with Governor Sakaja terming it a turning point for the capital.
Mimi kama gavana wenu, si mlinichagua? Mlinichagua? Mkaniambia niwasakanyie? Mkaniambia niwatafutie? Nilikuwa na bajeti ya bilioni 30, nimeongezewa 80 zaidi.
President William Ruto's declaration to take cartels head-on in his Marshall Plan to fix Nairobi from a city of chaos to order will be put to test in coming weeks and months as he seeks to transform the city. Apol Kamau, TV47 in Nairobi.
Now, tensions are escalating in Ramula, Siaya County as civil society groups issue fresh demands for investigations into deaths linked to operations by Shanta Gold Limited, raising urgent concerns over accountability, human rights and the rule of law. Now, the groups are calling for immediate action from state agencies, warning that continued inaction could further inflame tensions on the ground. Faith Wangari now reports.
A court order issued by Siaya Law Courts in petition E002 of 2025 restraining Shanta Gold Limited from undertaking resettlement and compensation processes in Ramula is now at the center of deepening crisis amid claims the directive is being defied. Human rights organizations say the order clearly barred any actions related to displacement and compensation of affected residents pending determination of the case. However, mining-linked activities are reportedly ongoing, raising serious concerns over disregard of a rule of law.
Office of the DCI, the ODP, and the county commissioner and ACC and DCCs in those areas, in Yala, in Siaya County, in Vihiga, and those areas. They are like agents of Shanta to harass citizens in that area. And we have received consistent and credible reports of harassment by the police officers from Directorate of Criminal Investigation, including the arrest of 2 women with their sons, one son had to commit suicide.
The developments follow deadly confrontations that left 2 community members dead after what activities described as a peaceful protest over land rights and lack of consent turned violent. According to the human rights activist, police allegedly used live ammunition against unarmed residents.
While the ministry has demonstrated the ability to move with urgency in other contexts, its absence in Ramula at such a critical moment raises a fundamental question as to whether all lives are accorded equal weight or whether the state's responsiveness is influenced by consideration beyond its constitutional duty.
Questions are also being raised about the role of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, which is accused of pursuing questionable charges against protesters.
Attempt by the Officer Commanding Police Station Yala, Mr. Charles Wafula, to misrepresent these events to the public. Any effort to distort facts in the face of such grave violations is unacceptable and serves only to shield those responsible from accountability.
Faith Wangari, TV47.
Now moving on to all things health, where private hospitals and doctors' unions are raising fresh concerns over the viability of the Social Health Authority, warning that the system is struggling under mounting debts and low contributions. The Kenya Medical Association and the Rural and Urban Private Hospitals Association now says that SHA is not financially sustainable to support universal health coverage. They add that services under the scheme remain suspended in many private facilities due to billions of shillings in unpaid claims. Elizabeth Atieno now reports.
For over a year now, some private and faith-based hospitals across the country say they have not received full reimbursement from the Social Health Authority. Providers are now demanding settlement of up to 44 billion shillings in outstanding payments, warning that the delays are crippling service delivery.
It has taken SHA 1 year to incur a debt of 43 billion, and it took 6 years to incur 33 billion. What makes you think they will pay the 43 billion SHA debt that they're incurring now? So next year it will be 86. Then the year after that, then they'll liquidate the authority. I mean, let's get serious.
Kwa hivyo mgomo wa rufaa kwa SHA bado huko. Na vile tumeambia hospitali katika muungano wa rufaa ni ikiwa utafanya matibabu ukitumia bima ya SHA, uchukue ile risk ambayo wewe unaweza manage.
In response, affected facilities are now shifting strategy by introducing micro-insurance schemes in Nairobi, Kajiado, and Bungoma counties to cushion patients and sustain operations. According to providers, at least 5 micro-insurance firms have been registered within a year, driving a 20% growth in premiums.
The people who are being charged 2.75% are the people who are already paying black tax. The grounding, the principles on which SHA is based is wrong, and it's a lie. It's a political lie.
Health stakeholders are now urging the government to bridge the gap between policy design and implementation under the SHA framework.
We stop these, we have 30 million people registered. 30 million people registered and only 3 million are paying. You cannot have that. If you are in a private business, that business would not last 2 days.
There's a mismatch between the insurance company that collects premiums, let's say if their year runs from January 1st to 31st December. On the 1st of the next year, your cover lapses. But the provider who has provided service, on the 1st of the next year, most of his claims have not been paid.
Concerns are also mounting over a widening financial deficit within the health scheme. In the current financial year, the funding gap in the Social Health Insurance Fund stands at 18.9 billion Kenya shillings, with additional shortfalls of 48 billion in Primary Healthcare Fund and 99 billion in Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund.
But the issue is a system issue. And this system issue covers the pharma industry, the medical equipment industry, the employees, even the government in terms of statutories. Until we fix this, the cash flow problem in healthcare will never end.
At the same time, healthcare providers are disputing claims by the Ministry of Health that some payments have been rejected due to fraud, maintaining that most claims are legitimate and remain unpaid. Elizabeth Atino, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, in other news, the Nairobi court today has found 6 people guilty of robbery with violence linked to the 2015 killing of former Kabete Member of Parliament George Muchai. 4 of the 6 convicted have been sentenced to death. This report has been produced by Mwaluse Meshak.
A Nairobi court has delivered its judgment in a robbery with violence case linked to the 2015 killing of former Kabete Member of Parliament George Muchai and his aides. 4 men have been sentenced to death after being found guilty on multiple counts of armed robbery, while 2 others were each handed 10-year prison sentences. Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina stated that the evidence presented firmly linked the accused persons to the crimes, including testimonies from survivors who positively identified them.
Between the time the decision...
The court established that the attackers were armed with dangerous weapons, including a firearm stolen from a police officer. In his ruling, the magistrate explained that the death penalty remains lawful under Kenyan law for the offense of robbery with violence.
But robbery with violence is death sentence. We are determined to move to the Supreme Court for that to be determined.
Other convicts received 10-year jail terms for related offences. One suspect was acquitted after the court found insufficient evidence directly linking him to the crime.
The magistrate has pronounced himself. We respect the decision of the magistrate, but we do not agree with the findings of the court.
The court granted all parties the right to appeal within 14 days.
Now, Parliamentary Committee on Energy has summoned Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi to appear before it without fail after he failed to honour an earlier invitation. Now, Wandayi had been expected to appear before the committee to shed light on the suspended oil importation deal, even as the country faces fuel shortages. The committee has expressed displeasure over his absence, terming it unacceptable.
Today, we have a letter signed by Honorable the PS in charge of energy, Alex Wachira, indicating that Waziri again was unable to appear before us, but the letter has just come towards the end of this meeting, indicating that the PS is not around. He left this country on official duties outside the CS, outside the country on official duties, and the meeting was, he was outside the country from the 7th to the 9th, that is today. But unfortunately, again, we were looking forward to them appearing, and so we have that letter. We had also invited KPC. As you also know, that KPC now, by extension, is more of now a separate entity with only 35% shares of government. It means then KPC is no longer under the PSs in charge of, or the Waziri. So again, we are shocked that KPC, who are the key players, are also not here.
Now, Bungoma Governor Kenneth Lusaka has dissolved the entire county executive, relieving all cabinet members, the county attorney and the county secretary of their duties with immediate effect. Now, this decision, announced in an official press release today, comes moments after members of the county assembly tabled an impeachment motion against the county attorney and 2 county executive committee members. According to the governor's office, the sweeping reorganization is aimed at ensuring effective governance and maintaining uninterrupted service delivery. Lusaka emphasized that the move was made in good faith and in the public interest, with interim measures already in place to prevent disruption. Now, more than 50 police officers were displaced and redeployed to various police stations after authorities announced the closure of the Capitol Hill police station in Nairobi following its de-gazettement. Now, as Samira Mohammed reports, this closure has disrupted ongoing investigations with officers from various agencies with active cases or exhibits stored at the station directed to retrieve them immediately. Take a look.
The Capitol Hill Police Station. Nestled on a sprawling 2-acre parcel in Nairobi, bustling Upper Hill area, the Capitol Hill Police Station stood as a poignant symbol of change and uncertainty in the city's laws enforcement landscape. While the Kenya police flag alongside the national flag flutter solemnly, symbolizing law and order, the silence around the station echoes questions about resource allocation and the evolving needs of Nairobi's security framework following the station's closure and de-gazettement. The station, initially set to become the headquarters for police operations in Nairobi, had at least 50 police officers who were absorbed to other stations, including Kilimani, Kibra, KICC in the Central Police Station. In a directive issued by Officer Commanding Station Tosca Opondo, officers stationed at the facility have been ordered to vacate and report to their new stations, a move that effectively brings all activities at the station to a close. The closure has also disrupted ongoing investigations with officers from various agencies with active cases or exhibits stored at the station have been directed to retrieve them immediately. Opondo further advised that individuals with pending cash bail should make arrangements to collect their funds before the funds are surrendered to the National Treasury. Nairobi has more than 100 police stations which are manned by sub-county commanders who report to sub-regional commanders and who report to the regional commanders who also report to the Deputy Inspector General of Police. The Capitol Hill Police Station remains a quiet sentinel, holding memories of its intended promises and awaiting its next chapter in the ever-changing narrative of Nairobi policing efforts. Samira Mohammed for TV 47, Nairobi.
All right, let's get into business news tonight, where our top story and women entrepreneurs in Kenya are actually being urged to scale their businesses and tap into emerging opportunities as efforts intensify to improve access to finance. The call comes as presidential advisor Harriet Shegai cited persistent barriers against women seeking business growth opportunities and recommended applying financial skills for growth. Take a look.
For policies that dismantle structural barriers, such as lack of collateral and limited access to assets. This is where partnerships becomes indispensable. Government alone cannot deliver this transformation. It requires a coordinated effort bringing together financial institutions and private sector to de-risk investment, expand access to capital, and unlock opportunities for women-led enterprises to grow at scale.
All the small businesses, all the big businesses, when everything is working, we are living in a much better country. The graduation should give us boldness. With that boldness, what do you need to do? Is to live your full dream.
Brookside Term 1 Games highlights brought to you by Brookside Dairy. Brookside Dairy, committed to nurturing sports talent.
Absolutely, and as we get into the sports news tonight, with just 1 day remaining before the 2026 FIFA Women's Series to kick off at Nyayo National Stadium, participating teams are finalizing their preparations across various training venues in the country. Malawi and India will hold their training sessions at the Moi International Sports Centre Kasarani Annex grounds as they gear up for the highly anticipated tournament, while hosts Kenya and Australia will train at the Police Sacco Stadium. Australia is scheduled for an early morning session at 11 a.m, while Kenya will take to the pitch later in the evening at 3 p.m. East African time. Now, this marks a historic moment for Kenya as the nation hosts the global showpiece for the very first time. All eyes will be on the Harambee Starlets, who will be aiming to make a strong statement on home soil and deliver success in front of a passionate home crowd. And we are absolutely excited to see the outcome during the FIFA Women's Series. Very excited to know that we as Cape Media are going to be the official media partner. All right, now moving on, AFC Leopards head coach Fred Ambani and Posta Rangers forward Jackson Macharia have been named the SportPesa League Coach and Player of the Month for March after delivering standout performances in a fiercely competitive period. Now, Ambani earned his second accolade of the season after guiding a resurgent Leopards side back in the title race despite a turbulent month, while Macharia's 4 goals in as many matches powered Posta Rangers out of an 11-game winless streak. 11-game winless streak, I beg your pardon. Ambani took home 75,000 shillings and a customized trophy matching Charles Akona of Gor Mahia as a 2-time winner this season, while Macharia edged out Tyson Otieno to claim this award after netting 4 goals in 4 matches, including a crucial strike in the Mashemeji Derby against Gor Mahia and a match-winning brace against Kariobangi Sharks, earning him 50,000 Kenya shillings.
Kitu kama hii juu previously kukua na ina motivate wachezaji sana juu unaona once una put in effort saa zingine behind the scenes na we don't get appreciated sana what we do behind the scenes ni, lakini saa zingine wakati inakuja player mmoja ana receive award this month najua ina motivate hata wachezaji kwa timu zingine ku give their best and wakona pia chance ya kupata the same trophy.
Hii team tulichange ilikuwa ni team inaomba Mungu sana and so unajua everything kika mbele ya Mungu calculate ngumu kufanyika. So nasema it's all about preparation and believing in God and things work.
Now, the race for the semi-finals is heating up at the Brookside Secondary School Term 1 games as several big-name schools bow out of the competition. Now, Dagoretti High, All Saints, Embu and Olympic are among teams that are eliminated as the group stages wrap up. Duncan Mutua now reports.
Day 3 of the Brookside Term 1 games delivered high-stake action, with teams battling for a place in the semi-finals. Fans turned out in large numbers as the group stages came to a close. In basketball, St. Mary's Siala secured a spot in the semis and will face Lukenya. Friends School Kamusinga, meanwhile, set up a clash with defending champions Lesa Hill.
We'll rectify our mistakes and come back strong next time.
In rugby, Upper Hill School remains unbeaten and will now face Kakamega School in the semis. Kisii School is set to take on St. Mary's Siala in another highly anticipated clash. In the girls category, Kinale Girls will face Bagadi, while Mwira will take on St. Joseph's Kitale. In hockey, Tigoi and St. Joseph's renewed their rivalry in a decisive group match, with St. Joseph's advancing to the semis. They will face AIC Nyayo, while Ngia is set to play Nyamira. Elsewhere, Kisumu Day will take on Kamusinga, with Riga facing St. Joseph's Kitale. In handball, Eastern champions St. Austin Matu booked a semi-final slot and will face St. Joseph's. Highway Secondary will play Musingu. In the girls category, Karai will face Moi Girls Kamusinga, while St. Joseph's take on Nyakachi.
Tumejituma tu na hivyo tu ndio itaendelea hadi semis hadi finali mpaka tubebe.
East Africa lazima tutaenda.
Day 3 also saw strong performance on the track.
On this day, we have seen very, very good outcomes in terms of results posted by our students in their various athletics categories in both track and field events.
Emmanuel Kiprono impressed in 500 meters, clocking 13 minutes, 31.4 seconds, ahead of Kolenius Kibichi and Kirui Kemboi.
Climate ilikuwa sawa, lakini uwanja tu ilikuwa mbaya kidogo, lakini niling'ang'ana.
Nancy Mutua claimed victory in the women's 500 meters, while Josephine Sebenyo dominated the 1500 meters.
Ilikuwa rahisi, nilikuwa nimeenda nifanya speed work ndo nikuja kwa nambani. Kwa sababu regionals I was number 2.
Day 3 of the Brookside Secondary School Games, and heavyweights have flexed their muscles, marching into the semi-finals. And tomorrow marks the official semi-finals day. My name is Duncan Mutua.
Brookside Term 1 Games highlights brought to you by Brookside Dairy. Brookside Dairy, committed to nurturing sports talent.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take a short break. But remember, we're asking you where you were watching from. Where are you tuned in from tonight? And please do let us know. Remember, you can find us at TV47 Kenya on all social media platforms. So we've got some comments that have come in on our YouTube page. We have Tales of the Road, who says, I'm tuned in from Kajiado. Another one, that's Leonard Wekati, who says, I'm watching you live from Kakamega, Lurambi. Someone here called Boniface Mutua, who says, I'm watching live in Nairobi, Rongai. Another one, that's Charles Opala, who says, I'm watching you live from Karen, Nairobi. Frederick Ochieng also says, I'm watching you, my sister. All the very best. Thank you so much for all the messages. Remember, you can keep them coming in. Do let us know where you're watching from, and we'll definitely say hello to you during the course of this live broadcast. Remember, we have a very interesting conversation later on. We're going to be interviewing a hero, so to speak. He is the Green Warrior in his own way. And who exactly is this young man? Well, he went viral on social media for actually telling someone off for littering. He followed them with his boda boda, and he decided that he was going to show this man a lesson for littering. So all that and much more coming right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Green Fix tonight.
all about methane. Where does your food waste go? Well, those fruit peels, vegetable scraps, and leftovers that you throw away often end up in dump sites or landfills where they rot and release methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. Tonight, we break down why that's a problem and what you can do about it.
Welcome back. This is TV47. You're watching the Daily Report, and right about now it's time to get into matters Green Fix, where we focus on matters environment, sustainability, and all that matters to making this world a greener space. Right, let's get back to it, where Kitui County has intensified efforts to increase its forest cover in a bid to tackle the adverse effects of climate change. Now, Kitui, which is classified as an arid and semi-arid land, Asal County, is partnering with schools to plant fruit trees which are sustainable to the community. Now, this is in a bid to meet the 1.15 billion trees target by 2032 by President William Ruto.
Tumepata seedlings kwa shule 30 Mwingi Central. We have a target. Kila location, every chief is supposed to have minimum of 232 seedlings.
Being a food secure county, so we're encouraging even planting of fruit trees so that we have a food secure county. Na sisi tunataka kuhimiza watu kupanda miti ni jambo lingine na kutunza. Na hapa leo tumesikizana na walimu, hii miti inayopandwa watoto waweze kuadopt, na pia mtu ipatiwe majina, na hii miti iangaliwe. We are looking for survival rate of more than 95%.
Maelfu ya miti katika sehemu mbalimbali katika hii eneo la Ukambani. Kule Kitui South tumepanda miti mingi sana mara 2. Tumepanda miti kila constituency ya hii county.
Now, as climate change continues to disrupt traditional farming patterns, scientists are increasingly, turning to resilient indigenous crops to strengthen food security. Now, finger millet, long valued for its nutritional richness and drought tolerance, is now at the center of renewed research aimed at boosting production across diverse agroecological zones.
A team of scientists from Egerton University, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, and the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics is spearheading the initiative. Their goal is to develop finger millet varieties situated to specific agroecologies across the country. To ensure the varieties meet farmers' expectations, the researchers have adopted a participatory approach, consulting smallholder farmers to better understand their preferences, production challenges, and market demands.
These farmers here are trying to look at the right varieties for this region. We have done it in Rift Valley, we've done it in Western, so they must get their right variety. Normally they talk of high yield, adaptability, but still, apart from that, there are many problems associated with this crop. One of them, well, a crop may be high yielding, but require more water. And as such, it may not be desirable for this area. Then other crops may escape. They may mature very early and will escape drought. So farmers will tell us which crop they have preferred.
At the KALRO Kiboko Research Station in Makueni County, farmers recently participated in variety selection trials, identifying finger millet lines that are high-yielding, easy to harvest, and adaptable to local conditions.
Sisi kama wakulima wa eneo hili tumewekwa hii shamba iko na mimea ya wimbi ya aina tofauti tofauti. Tumetembea, tumepigia kura hiyo mimea, na ule mmea ambao utakuja ukiwa na kura mingi, hiyo ndio itakuwa mbegu yetu. Na mimi kama mkulima, maombi yangu na maono yangu nikija hapa, nilikuwa nipate mbegu mwanzo ambao inazaa kwa wingi, inaweka mbegu mingi, na iko kwa size ambao naweza kuvuna hata kama nimesimama, na pia haina shida na ndege sana, haitusumbui na ndege. Kwa hivyo nimetembea, nimefanya kura yangu, nimeona hiyo mbegu ambao iko na size ambao naweza kuvuna kama nimesimama, na pia nimeona zingine ambazo asiwezi kutusumbua na ndege.
Researchers say involving farmers in the selection process increases the likelihood of adoption and long-term impact.
Farmers are the centric one. They are the main drivers of this entire process, and that's why we invited the farmers for field day. We have taken their feedback, and this evaluation, the feedback provided by the farmers in feedback evaluation form, that will guide our next step. We need to develop the varieties which are very well adapted to specific agroecologies. Now there is no time to have something wider, a variety having wide adaptation which can be grown across the country as a whole. So we think that we need to understand the needs and the preferences of the farmers in different agroecologies, and we should be able to give them what they need.
The broader objective of the project is to promote finger millet production as a climate-smart crop that enhances food security, improves household incomes, and builds resilience against erratic weather patterns.
So we all know that we are going for the worst in the climate arena, whereby because of changes in climate, they are having less water. So finger millet, being one of the dryland crops, uses very little water. We have a very nice crop behind us. We have irrigated this about 3 times, and this season has been the worst. The other beauty is that we have not put any chemical for spray there. So finger millet has very few pests, both in the field and in storage. It almost doesn't have a pest. For your information, finger millet is the only cereal who appreciates with the time it stays in the store. That means the longer it stays in the store, the more money consumers are ready to pay for it.
With climate pressures mounting, the revival and improvement of traditional crops like finger millet could play a vital role in securing the future of smallholder farming. Scientists and farmers are now working hand in hand to ensure the crop not only survives but thrives. Stanley Nyeringita, TV 47.
Now, cassava farmers in the coast region are set to benefit from a new genetically modified cassava variety introduced by the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, aimed at boosting production and enhancing resilience against disease and harsh weather conditions. Now, the variety, which will begin distribution in June, is designed to combat the devastating cassava brown streak disease and withstand prolonged drought that has in recent years led to significant losses among farmers across the region.
Nilikuwa natatizwa na magonjwa ya muhogo ambayo sijui vile alikuwa akiambukizwa, lakini hayana tiba, hayatibiki. Lakini sasa kulingana na vile nimeeleweshwa, vile utafiti umefanywa, sasa kuna mbegu ambayo haitaathiriwa na magonjwa, na vile nimeona uzao wake pia ni mkubwa na inavumilia hata sehemu ninaotoka kame.
Using modern biotechnology, we are able to control the most devastating cassava viral diseases, that is cassava brown streak disease, that is transmitted by whiteflies, and through use of infected planting materials. As you know, cassava is vegetatively propagated, so once the farmers recycle the seed, then they are able to spread viruses even to the regions where the viruses have not been there before.
Ile product ya GM yenye imepitia National Biosafety Authority, imepewa leseni na National Biosafety Authority, ni salama.
Kwa leo vile nimejifundisha, nimekuta kwamba GMO ni kusaidia kusalisha mbegu ambazo zinaweza kutoa mazao mazuri kwa mkulima, kwa chakula na kwa kuuza. Ndio maana niko hapa nijifundishe, alafu nipelekee watu wangu kule Shimba Hills ujumbe na wao wapate kupanda.
Now, where do you usually dispose of your fruit peels, vegetable waste, other food leftovers and household waste? Well, chances are that you throw it away in an open area or it ends up in landfills, and when it decomposes, it produces a gas called methane. Methane, which is a greenhouse gas with 80 times more warming power than carbon dioxide, contributes significantly to rapid climate change. Dr. Victor Ikawa from Africa Methane Community of Practice, AMCOP, provides practical tips that the public can use to cut down methane emissions and reduce food waste.
The big message out there for Kenyans would be to, particularly on food waste, that is something within your control. And food waste, when it all piles up, and as I said, you're in Nairobi, you're 5 million of you, it now becomes a huge problem for everyone else. Because once the environment around Nairobi is messed up, it is the environment around Nairobi. You won't simply dismiss it. So there are different things you could do with food waste. You could separate them, have them in different, separate your plastics from your food waste. And that in itself helps a lot. The people who end up cleaning after you, it really helps them not only save time, but also be able to figure out different solutions.
Now, in Mombasa, that is Kenya's second largest city, it continues to grapple with plastic pollution, which not only paints the tourist destination as at a negative light, but it also impacts marine life negatively. Now, to help reduce this waste, EcoPrints Generation, a tech startup based in Mombasa, transforms plastic waste into 3D printing filaments. Samson Jura reports on the passion of the startup to advance environmental sustainability.
A walk through Mombasa's coastline often triggers a mixed bag of emotions. While the sandy beaches captivate your eyes, littered plastic bottles and wrappers lie on the surface, with ocean waves transporting the waste to deep sea. To reduce this crisis, EcoPrint Generation, a Mombasa-based Kenyan tech company, collects the plastic waste and later processes it into pellets. These pellets are thereafter converted to 3D printer filament which look like this. The filament is a continuous slender plastic thread which is partially melted during the printing process to form the desired 3D project.
The general height of our phone stand.
Gabriel Maingo, the CEO of EcoPrint Generation, says the efforts of recycling plastic waste to the printing materials continues to protect marine life.
Since the beginning of our operations in May 2024, we've been able to divert 30 plus tons of plastic waste from the environment, but then have converted around 14 tons of this plastic waste into 3D printing filament and into education tools that have benefited students from over 1,000 students along the coastline of Mombasa from over 35 schools.
Among the schools that are benefiting from this innovation is Kenya Coast National Polytechnic, with students noting that it has reduced the time frame of their workload.
We're using forex boards to come up with our models, of which was time consuming and it was tiresome, being there for more than 5 to 6 hours working through a simple models.
Mwango now hopes community members will view plastic as a treasure and not waste.
Helps to create this behavior change in how community members view plastic waste, as initially they saw that as waste, but now when they look at plastic waste after they see our products, they see it as a tool of change.
Data by the United Nations show that 3.7 kilos of plastic per capita leach into bodies of water annually in Mombasa City. But Mwango believes this innovation will see a reduction of these numbers.
All right, and of course, with that, it's time for us to move into other things. Now, there was a video recently that was trending on social media. Now, this video was about Captain Ochenge, who was on a bike, and he decided to confront a driver and the passengers for throwing trash out of the window of the car. Ochenge hopes to continue raising awareness on the effects of littering, mostly in urban areas, and he joins us live tonight on his environmental awareness activism. So I'd like you to watch this video just to get a bit of context as to what this conversation will be about and why it was trending on social media. Take a look.
Na watu wamefanya ujinga hapa nyuma. Wasee wanakunywa pombe alafu wanarusha chupa kwa barabara. Nimejibeba, nataka kuwarushia kwa gari yao. Ndio hiyo iko mbele ya hii matatu. Hiyo iko nyuma ya red. Hebu nione. Yo, JCJ. Ndio hii. Ile. Naje. Naje. Poa sana. Hizi vitu mnaweza jua ni za nani? Muuliza kana jua ni za nani? Hizo vitu mnaweza jua ni za nani? Hamjui? Mko sure hamjui? Sio nyinyi mmerusha hapo kwa bridge ya Railway tukipanda? Tuonyeshe ama. Niko hapa na nyinyi nimerecord on video. Sio nyinyi umerusha? Sio kama wametupa. Sio nyinyi mmetupa. Wewe ni driver. Uliza passenger wako. Unamuuliza kama anataka kupeleka passenger. Ni nyinyi mmetupa hizo vitu ama sio nyinyi? Nataka tu admit. Ni nyinyi mmetupa ama sio nyinyi? Mbona mnafanya hivyo lakini? Unaona mito zikikwama, nyinyi ndio mnaanza kulia gari zenu zimebebwa na maji na nyinyi ndio mnachafua barabara. Hiyo tabia tuwache. Wakenya sisi ndio tuko na shida. Hiyo tabia tuwache. Mkikunya kombe yenu, weka vitu pamoja na mkatupe kwingine. Simuna kwani sini pombe sini chupa za pombe ama ni za nini? Kama ni pombe. Wewe sini sini nyinyi imetoka ndani ya hii gari. Sini nyinyi. Hiyo tabia tuwache. Sawa. Nenda mkatupe huko.
And this is me clapping for him because we need more people like that. You know, even me, to be honest, I get very upset when I see someone littering in front of me when I'm driving. But personally, if I'm going to be very honest with you, I've never stopped that person. I watch, I get angry, and I just ignore it and I move on with my life. But this man called Captain Ochenge decided that, you know what, enough is enough. He needs to be taught a lesson. This person needs to be, you know, educated, informed. We need to give him, we need to make sure that he understands how bad it is to litter and that he should not be doing that. So this is what we call activism at its best. He is a green warrior and he is with me in studio. Karibu sana.
Shukran.
Thank you so much for coming.
Asante.
That was a job well done.
I lack words to say.
Yes.
I didn't expect that it will be this huge. First of all, naitwa Captain, I'm a boda rider.
Yes.
And it was a random day. I'm from work, going home. And do you know where the SGR passes?
Yes.
Kongong.
Yeah.
Just hapo chini tu. So randomly tu nataka ku-overtake niende zangu.
Yeah.
I see these people wanapiga kelele ndani ya gari. So na gari ilikuwa ina swerve kwa barabara. So I had to slow down. Nikaacha ku-overtake to just look at them nione
and see what they're doing. What's up?
Doing. Labda sherehe ni ya nini ama furaha ni ya nini. And there was a lady inside that car. She just threw those things outside.
Like shwa. Haya.
And I'm like, oh my. Hizi vitu zingenifikia mimi zinipige.
And what was inside?
There were bottles of alcohol.
Glass bottles?
Glass bottles.
Where?
Yeah.
Do you know if it was plastic, we would have obviously still not forgiven them because it's wrong.
Yeah.
But that's even a safety hazard.
Very.
Because a glass bottle can hit a pedestrian, can hit a boda rider, can hit a fellow driver in a car.
Sure. So I followed them, wanted to confront them immediately.
Yes.
But then I told myself, no, you don't know who are these people.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So I pulled back, I turned back, went and collected those litter, nikaanza kuwafuata.
Yeah.
But before I approached them, I stopped at the police, traffic police.
Yeah.
I explained to them, nikawambia, you see, these guys, kuna watu wanatoka hapa nyuma, now they have done something that sijapendezwa nayo.
Yeah.
Because recently we've been having floods. And these floods in Nairobi, one of the major causes of floods is
drainage.
Yes. Ni sisi tunachangia this drainage ina happen.
Absolutely.
Unapata magari za watu ni mingi sana zilibebwa. Na kuangalia gari yake nye alikuwa anaendesha, kwanza hiyo floods za 2 minutes inaweza beba gari yake.
Yeah, because it was a small car.
It's a small car. I told her, nikamwelezea, akaniambia, you know, my hands are tied. There is nothing I can do with that. Yeah, that's what she told me. And then nikasema, sasa what can I do next? Well, I gathered courage. Nikasema, I'll confront these people, niwaambie wamefanya vibaya. Not provocatively, but in a way that it's
to make them understand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Waelewe that whatever they've done, it's wrong.
Well done.
Yeah. So
you can see that guy mwenye ananifuata wa boda.
Yes.
He was just a random guy from nowhere.
Yeah.
He just saw my camera and was like, tuko live. Nikamwambia yeah, tuko live. Can we hebu tukaanza kupiga story, but nikakumbuka nikamwambia I'm following upon these people who have littered on the road.
Yeah.
Why akaniuliza wamefanya, you can hear
the conversation was actually so interesting, and I wish we could also get him as well, because he was so quick to accept the fact that, you know what, let me help my fellow boda rider. Let me help, because it was something that also he felt was important to do.
Yeah.
Because if it was anybody else, they would have continued with their work.
Exactly.
It would have been like, why am I getting involved?
Yeah. So we went and he stopped them. I talked to them. Funny thing, walipoona camera,
right?
Guilty as charged.
So they had nothing to say.
They had nothing to say. Well, they said sorry, and I couldn't do anything. Niliwaambia tu msirudie next time. It's bad, both to us and to the environment, because kila mtu akiamua kulita everywhere,
imagine
you'll be having a very bad environment, and it's a hazard to us, because ukiwa kwa barabara mtu akiangusha vitu kwa barabara while you're driving, it's hazardous to us, you get. For instance, there is a time I'm riding on Kiambu Road, and this is a hard one. Do you imagine that time uko na homa, right? On the peak, homa iko on the peak. So someone coughed from the vehicle, akanirusha nje ya barabara. So it landed on my visor.
No.
Yes.
So this has happened to you before?
It has happened to me. Not once, I think twice.
Ha.
Yeah, but ya kwanza haikunipata, it missed me. So ya pili, it hit my visor. It was a brownish thing. I couldn't see. I had to pull over and say, oh my God.
That is not nice at all.
It's not nice. Inaumiza roho. And many a times I talk about road safety. Many a time, 90% of my time nikiwa kwa barabara, the videos that I do, I talk about road safety. So when you find someone doing such a kind of a thing kwa barabara, not only me, but any other road user, you know, distractions kwa barabara, small distractions can lead to a big accident.
It absolutely can, and then you know, those accidents can end up with people losing their lives.
Sure.
And it is something that I'm glad that you're talking about. You're creating awareness about this, because I really do feel that we have a responsibility as Kenyans, as citizens of the Republic of Kenya, just to do your bit, so that collectively we can create change.
Exactly.
And I feel like it starts with us. So I'm glad that it started with you, because of your video, you know, we've seen the outroar, we've seen the comments, the feedback on social media. It's been amazing, because a lot of the people are actually commending you for a job well done and saying that we need more people like you. So it's nice to see that people are really appreciating you for the good work. You and your fellow boda rider. You are definitely a green warrior, because without you, those people would keep doing that over and over again. I'm sure that's not the first time that they've done this. They've done this before as well. So it's nice to know that, you know, people are seeing change. There's a wave of change that we're seeing through videos like yours to create awareness. So, you know, the impact of that, you may not realize how big it is right now. But I can tell you for a fact that I've seen the comments, I've read them, and I can tell you that people are really, really commending you for a job well done. How does that make you feel?
Well, my friends have called me. I've met people, those who knows me personally. Others actually have DM'd me the video, because I hadn't seen it on Instagram. So they sent me, hey, Captain, this is commendable. Wengine akanitumia tawa, akaniambia kunywa chai for the good work that you're doing.
Oh, that's so nice.
I sat down going through those comments. I'm like, oh my. Like,
I'm a hero.
Doing something that people are liking. It wasn't in my to-do list in this month. And I'd stayed with that video for over a week in my gallery.
Without posting?
Without posting. It's only that nilifikia nikasema, this thing inaniuma sana, hebu wacha niachilie iende. And I'm more vocal on X than TikTok. Yeah, but my problem with my X now, sometimes when I'm posting videos, it doesn't go. Inaenda kwa draft, na achana nayo. Yeah.
So it's nice to see. What do you think other Kenyans need to be doing so that we collectively can cause change with our mindsets, with the perception to the environment, with the way we treat our roads, with the way we treat, you know, each other as well. For example, you've mentioned that you were just driving by and someone spat.
Exactly.
So things like this, how we respect each other, how we treat the environment, how we treat, you know, spaces that are public. How do you think we will be able to have a change, a future where we'll be able to see a clean, green environment in Kenya?
I think we don't have to wait for a tragedy to happen to us or you to react to it.
Yes.
For instance, you don't have to wait for an accident to happen in order for you to start beginning talking about road safety.
Yes.
You don't have to wait for your family member to be hospitalized because a bodaboda walianguka na yeye, ndio uanze kuongea about road safety. It begins with you. Your routine, daily, day in, day out routine. Well, like ukikunywa kahawa yako, kibeba ukitembea nayo tao. There are places tumekewa tuweke liter. Throw them there. It saves a lot. Hata mse mwenye anaenda kufanya hiyo collection ya hizo uchafu inamrahisishia kazi yake. Like it has to be a personal responsibility. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I was a very bad rider.
Okay.
So to say. Nikianza kazi ya bodaboda. Nilikuwa ule mse wa I don't care.
Okay.
You get. But it came to a point when I began doing deliveries. Nikaanza like interacting now with people. I get to understand what people want. Mse ataki mse mwenye, for instance like you wouldn't want mse wa boda na kuja kwako, amevaa nguo kama hii for instance, ingine imeraruka huku, sijaoga, huku juu unaona very dirty, right? So it gave me the point of I needed to change. And it began with me. It began with me because sikuambiwa na huyo mtu because of what I want to achieve in the end. So it has to be a collective responsibility. Tukiamka asubuhi, how you want to live your house to look like, let the environment as well ikae hivyo, so that ukitembea huku nje, ukipita place hata Uhuru Park ukikaa hivi, you enjoy the scenery and the place.
Very well said.
Yeah.
My goodness, you're so wise.
Thank you.
I'm just listening to all your words and I'm so impressed that you're such a brilliant man with so much wisdom and so much knowledge about the environment and so much passion actually. You're very passionate about the environment and that's very nice to know.
Yeah.
For you, as a boda boda rider, what would you like to tell your fellow boda boda riders?
Oh my, I have so much to tell them.
Tell them something. Talk to them.
They understand this language. Wase, ukiamka asubuhi, ukiingia kazi yako ya boda, kitu ya kwanza unafaa kujua, safety begins with you. You get, ufai kuambiwa na mse yote kwamba unafaa kubeba helmet yako ukienda job. Ufai kuambiwa na mse yote kwamba your bike needs insurance. Ufai kuambiwa na mtu yote kwamba you yourself you need to insure yourself because accidents happen. Because I have so many friends when you're in hospitali, they don't have an accident cover. Akienda usi ni sisi tunamchangia. Na insurance sio kitu, sio expensive. It's something that you can afford. Ni negligence tunakuanga nayo sisi kama wase wa boda. Wase wa boda wako na pesa.
I like that.
Yeah. Wako na pesa. But ile vile tunatumia pesa yetu ndio ina matter a lot. Like your safety. Imagine having an helmet. Having an helmet can save you a lot. For instance, umeenda hospitali. You've been hospitalized for like 3 months, 4 months because of a head injury. The bill goes to maybe 500,000, 600,000 because you didn't have an helmet, a proper helmet.
Yes.
Sisi ndo tunakuchangia ama if you well off to kujikimu ukiwa hospitali, you will use that money. But if you had an helmet, your pesa ungesave na ununua helmet ya maybe 10,000, 15,000, 5,000. So there are some things that we overlook but huwa zinakuja kutuumiza thereafter.
Later on.
Exactly.
All right, very well said. And lastly, since we are running out of time, before we wrap up, any message that you want to give Kenyans who are giving you all the love, showering you with so many blessings and just commending you for the great work?
The same way that you're commenting down there in that poster, let it be mnafanya vile mnaongea pale. You see, the bad thing that muliona, let it be nyinyi pia mnaifanya the same way. Isikuwe ni mimi peke yangu, I'm talking about that thing. You be part of the movement. Ukiona msee akifanya kitu yenye haifai, mwambie, muelezee. We have that tendency ya sisi ni wa Kenya, tumezoea huku ni no, change begins with you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That was such a great conversation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate what you do, what you've done,
Yeah.
you know, what you continue to do on social media, and the fact that you decided that you want to be an activist against littering. We really appreciate that, because us right here on Green Fix on TV47, we are all about the environment. We are all about making not just Kenya, but the world a greener space.
Yeah.
And we like to create a space where we can have such conversations, a platform where we can truly talk about the planet in a very positive way and create awareness on how important it is to protect our planet.
Sure.
And not litter, of course. So you are doing just that. So definitely a green warrior. So we definitely want to commend you for a great job. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's my second time being here.
Oh, okay.
3 years ago, I was here and speaking about road safety.
Hey,
Yeah, before
very nice.
Uhame from the other side. Kuja huku.
Very nice.
Thanks for having me. It's pleasure sharing this table and talking to many Kenyans who are listening to me. Ukiwa Mombasa, Kisumu, wherever you are, kama wewe ni msewa boda, gear up. Safety begins with you. Share the road. Usikue rowdy kwa barabara and be compliant. That is it.
Yes. Very wise words indeed. Once again, thank you so much, Captain. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And continue spreading awareness on your social media. What's your TikTok handle?
Oh, Captain Ochenge.
Captain Ochenge. Please go check him out. Go follow him, because he has been doing an amazing job. I watched him yesterday. I watched all his videos and I was like, this man deserves more. And I really do hope that more Kenyans listen to you, more Kenyans watch your videos and feel inspired to not just be more proactive in the way that you treat the environment, but also in the way that you are safe while driving or while riding a boda boda. Yeah. Thank you so much once again. All right, with that, it's time for us to say goodnight. This brings us to the end of our Green Fix edition. And of course, right here on the Daily Report, it's time for us to wrap things up. And we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember, right here on TV47, we have so many exciting things lined up for you. It's about to be a very exciting new week, and we look forward to all the new things that we have in store for you. So make sure you're following us on social media, TV47 Kenya. Look for us. Go check out our Instagram, our TikTok, our Facebook, and see what we've been up to. There is something cooking, so we hope that you can actually be a part of that and support us as we embark on this new journey. My name is Shiksha Arora. Sign language interpreter tonight has been Catherine Simaloy. I'll see you when I see you. Make sure you stay safe. Good night, and stop littering. All right, Captain?
Yes.
Tell them, stop littering.
Stop littering.
Yes.
Be safe on the road and take care of our environment.
Take care of yourself, take care of our environment, and stop littering.
Cheers.